Here are a series of posts that Jack Lewis Stanton has set off of his own eBay, proving that he is definitely not recovering and returning the cards of the signed Magic card collectors he had ghosted on. If you are still doing business with Jack, wrap it out and back out.
Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedback. On May 20th, 2021, 10:15 p.m., as I was saying, does anyone else find it ridiculous that eBay is threatening to keep you from listing new items if you don't update certain item requirements on your listings by a certain date? eBay gave me until July 11th to update only 3,300 listings while threatening to not allow me to post new sales until I do. I have spent years posting those items, getting to a certain level. The requirements that eBay wants me to add are already in the title and the body of the listing and do show up in searches already. So eBay, you want me to just drop everything I'm doing to go through 3,300 listings to do this? I guess I can get it done in what, 2 hours? Why the repetition? I guess having it mentioned a third time is the trick to getting more sales. How about you fix the issues I already have, like randomly making it so I can't ship to PO boxes, then blaming it on the post office, COVID, and other things that have nothing to do with the bug in the system. It's sad that after 22 years, thousands of sales, and a 100% seller rating that I'm probably going to leave eBay if they insist on this idiotic repetition. Or I'll just end the 3,300 items so that I can continue to sell new ones with see description where you want your requirements to be listed. You are literally asking me to do extra repetitious work that makes it so I can't post as many items. To do the requirements you ask will take up an addition 20 to 30% time in new listings, despite, as I mentioned before, the title and description already having what you asked for. This will result in hundreds of thousands in wasted time across the platform and fewer items being posted. If I were an eBay executive, I'd find out who came up with this idea and fire them, as it will be costing the platform a lot of money due to fewer items being posted. We only have so many hours in the day. Would love to hear from someone in power in regards to this horrible decision. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedback. On June 6, 2021, 6:49 p.m., I'm curious what's happened to eBay, why there is no more consistency with this platform. I have almost $40,000 in inventory books and records. 3,200 items. A year ago, I had $25,000 in inventory. In the past 27 days, my sales have died. And sorry, this isn't because of COVID. My sales were better with less inventory a year ago. It's not see my previous comment. It's not my prices. I'm usually the lowest on all items I sell. 7 days before this drought, I did $1,400 in sales. I was slightly above what my average had been. Now, I've been scrapping by the past 27 days at $400 to $500 in sales a week. I've had 3 days barely above $100 during those 27 days, whereas the week before 5 of my 7 days were above $100. Statistics don't work the way they've been during these last 27 days, and I'm curious as to what eBay did to basically shut down business. I've had to resort to selling a bit more locally on Facebook and other platforms at discounts to make ends meet. I've had items on another platform with 1/50th the customers that eBay has buying more. This inconsistency has been happening ever since I switched over to managed payments, which leads me to believe I'm on a different algorithm now. Nothing else makes sense. I've lowered prices even more, made offers. Nothing seems to work. eBay, can you explain this other than blaming COVID or the U.S. postal system? Thanks. Signed. Perfect. Feedback in the thousands after 22 years as a seller means nothing anymore. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedback. June 17, 2021, for 58 p.m. Howdy, I'm not sure what eBay has done in the past month and a half, but the downturn is unlike anything I've had in 22 years on the platform. Dear eBay, How about fixing all the glitches and putting the algorithm back to what it was when it worked? You're not Amazon, and that's why it worked. Why people prefer it to Amazon as sellers. What you're doing now makes no sense. I have seen my sales drop 55% in the past 6 weeks. I have 3,200 items on the platform with a value nearing $40,000. My prices are the best where I have competition and very fair for when I don't exploit my being the only one. During a 4-day period last week, I had 5 sales totaling under $100, where my previous average was always over $100 a day. Simple question, what have you done? Please don't respond saying it's COVID, the post office fault, or that this is the typical summer downturn and that people are outside enjoying life, etc. If that were the case, the other platforms I sell on would have similar downturns. They don't. If it's that I won't give you more money via promotions where I'm the only one selling an item, how about you simply say so? Oh, yeah, you can't do that. I can't sell to PO boxes and a number of countries. I've been told it's a glitch in the system. I can't repost without these restrictions. So, you are blocking me from a large number of customers, yet you won't fix the glitch. How about when I sell something, you don't repost it? How about you answer the phone? So many things ... would be nice if you did what you did in the first 20 years instead of trying to be something you're not while wrecking people's sales. Sorry to vent, but this isn't on me or Summer. This is all you, eBay. How about you have a rep call me? You have my number, Jack Stanton. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedbacks. 06/1 to 36:47 p.m. Howdy all, around March 20th, a lot of our sales just disappeared. eBay has claimed that nothing happened and everything is fine, despite countless numbers of complaints, etc. People across all categories sell their sales half or more literally overnight, and despite our best efforts, they did not come back. I was selling around $1,000 a week prior to March 1st. I began adding $14,000 in inventory to my store of $41,000, an increase of 34%. For every $10,000 I have in inventory, I used to have an expected rate of $X, give or take 5 to 20% a week up or down, but consistent. Over a 30-day period, I could expect to see very little variance in my numbers, as everything would pretty much settle down to 5 to 10% above or below my average. I've been around for 24 years, have 13,000 plus sales, a 100% positive feedback, maybe 15 returns due to postal abuse of packages during the 24 years I've been on eBay, and I am a top-rated seller. I know my inventory and customers and strive to continually buy quality inventory to add to my store. I know my numbers. I know when eBay has done something as they have been doing over the past 3 years under this CEO, and it stinks. As I began to increase my inventory on March 1st, I got the expected returns coming in. My sales increased proportionately and everything was great. Then came March 20th or thereabouts, complete crash. My sales disappeared by 50% overnight and stayed there. Normally this indicates an unannounced update and things go back to normal after a week or two of killed sales that you'll never get back. But sales kept going lower and lower. The 2 weeks prior to March 20th, I had gone up to $1,500 a week in sales. The week before June 2nd, I was at $350 for the week. I had lost nearly 80% of my sales. eBay says that everything is working fine despite the huge number of people across the message boards, eBay for Business on Facebook, and on YouTube. The only thing I've been able to figure out through a lot of experimentation is that eBay seems to be putting a lot of in between the listings of those who promote at the highest rate versus those at the lower, and those who don't promote, well, expect to see your items buried. I was at the low end of promoted listings as I know that eBay has decided we need to pay more to play as they chase extra pennies, forgetting that giving the customer few immediate choices does not guarantee sales. Making it harder to find items does not give the customer a positive experience. And based on the number of customers eBay has lost since this CEO took over despite COVID leading to huge increases for all other platforms, I'd say I know what eBay's problem is. I can only imagine what the second quarter stock reports are going to look like. My guess is huge drops in revenue from normal fees collected, with the promoted fees being the only thing that this CEO is good at. Basically, taking more money from sellers to feed the stockholders who are losing money from bad policy that is killing sales. Would love for him to explain what happened around March 20th and how it'll lead to a greater eBay, as opposed to higher fees for sellers and worse experiences for customers who continue to leave the platform at 10% a year. I have had to open a Mercari account as well as a local booth at an antique mall because apparently, according to some at eBay, I don't know what items to buy and sell. The problem with eBay is that there are rules that you must follow in order to be successful on eBay. Only, they won't share those rules with you, which makes playing the game pretty difficult. How about you tell us what you did to kill our sales? How about you tell us what we actually have to do to get our sales back? I'm down $1,500 a month in sales from before the time I added 34% more inventory to my store. With that added inventory, I'm down $3,000 plus from where I should be, which is a huge thing. It's not because I don't offer free shipping, free returns, or I haven't filled out all the suggested item specifics. My sales were just fine without these prior to March 20th. It's not the economy that died 50% on the same day, nor is it the summer slowdown which started in March. eBay did something to the algorithm and it would be nice to know what it was, and if this is the new eBay. If it is, then expect to lose more than just 10% of the customer-seller base this year. Seriously, pull your head out. You're killing a once great platform. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedback. July 20th, 2023, 8:28 a.m. It said that after 24 years as a seller on eBay with 13,000 plus sales, 100% positive feedback, top seller status, etc., etc., etc. I just want a real alternative to eBay to come along so I can jump ship as soon as possible. It's great that eBay started really clocking our views in March downwards, so we'd come to the conclusion that we need to pay 10% more in promoted extortion fees to get back to what we didn't have to pay for before. With my 4,350 items, I'm sitting at 12 views in the first 9 hours today. My sales are down 50% from what they were traditionally since March. The last 3 weeks have seen my sales drop 67% from what used to be consistent sales. I guess promoting at 3.1% isn't good enough. Seriously, this CEO needs to be fired as soon as possible. Otherwise, eBay will continue to lose 38,000 users a day. Think about that. It's single quotes that's based off of eBay's own numbers. Imagine being so incompetent at your job that you lose 38,000 users you didn't earn in the first place. Promoted listings fees can only satisfy the stockholders for so long before the pyramid collapses. We're all cross-listing to other sites now, something we didn't have to do before this money grab. We're opening up in antique malls and using whatnot to get the sales back that eBay is throwing away. Some advice for the people reading this. Start cross-listing your highest-priced items to other sites, but at 5 to 10% lower when you get eBay sales. Send your beer a detailed flyer with QR codes to direct them to cheaper alternatives to buy your items. Keep a mailing list of certain big buyers and send them out direct mailings from time to time. It takes a while, but so did building your eBay business that eBay is throwing away by not showing your listings. Seriously, I have 12 views today. It's not because my items are bad. For certain things I do. I'm well known around the world and sell or used to pretty consistently on eBay. Now I'm just getting my customers to go direct. I think everyone should look into alternatives like Poshmark, Mercari, whatnot, Facebook Marketplace, and make yourself a group you can direct people to as well, etc. Don't depend on eBay, whose sole purpose these days is to take as much from the seller without thinking about the consequences. If anyone at eBay wants to have a serious discussion about this problem, you know how to get in touch with me. This extortion to be seen has got to stop. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedbacks. July 22nd, 2023, 9:25 p.m. Seriously, losing 38,000 accounts a day under your watch your stats. Not mine. 12 quarters of downhill earnings, a site where buyers can't log in, complete a purchase, get good searches, etc., 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 and sellers are being extorted for views. Great thing you got going on there, Jamie. I guess the good news is they'll give you $20 to $30 million on the way out the door for being so bad at your job. The promoted listings extortion will only go so far before the reverse pyramid scheme crumbles. What then, Jamie? 24 years as a successful seller, then you come along. Still a successful seller, but moving things over to other platforms and get this. Selling it because they show my items without asking me to give them more money for actual views. As if their first fee was enough to get the job done. Why you gotta treat eBay like the Nook? Seriously, stockholders, fire this guy. Or sell your stock before he kills the company. It's happening. Get a clue and protect your investment as well as mine. Jill Stanton, Thrill Seeker, 5,427 feedbacks. April 12th, 2024, 10:14 a.m. Howdy all. Ever since an update by eBay around April 1st last year, my sales have died. I was doing over $100 a day and overnight. I lost half my sales because of this update. Over the year, I lost 60% of where I should be. Over the past 10 days, I've done $45 a day and around $55 over the past 31 days. I'm coming up on 25 years on the platform come Sunday. 100% positive feedback, 14,000 plus items sold, 1 returned. My listing quality in all formats I sell in is 99% plus. I do sell long tail items, but they do sell, as witnessed before eBay's update. On other platforms, I have the same sales as I did before that update on eBay. I'm just curious your experiences over the past year, since eBay took whatever step it's taken. I'm cross-listing to 3 other platforms, Etsy, Mercari, and Poshmark now, and have been selling through my Facebook groups I've had for years. In addition, I've had to get a booth at the local antique mall due to the sheer drop in sales on eBay. I was hoping you all could share your experiences to show eBay that there are consequences to messing around with the algorithm in order to extract more money from sellers while offering less quality for the money they want to charge. I want them to see the human toll, as I don't believe they care, despite the damage being done to millions of sellers. For those of you doing well, please comment as well. I'm curious why you're selling, whereas others lost half their sales in one update, one night. Thanks, Jack.
As you can see, Jack, JLStanton, is not actually recovering and returning the cards and money of the over 80 affected signed Magic card collectors he has blocked and ghosted on since 2020. These eBay posts prove that JLStanton is a scammer and does have money to recover and return everything those signed Magic card collectors are still owed. With Jack resuming to hold their cards hostage at his Utah home, from the last place they recall their cards were at, while ghosting, these collectors no longer guarantee JLStanton's safety. Here are all the places you could find him, and do business with him directly.